Hello YouTube, this is Charlie426, and today we have a review of the P-Bandai exclusive, or P-Bandai exclusive, RE100 Gundam Lindwurm. So, this unit actually arrived to me about a few days ago, and then the kit itself, this mobile suit itself is actually not from the Universal Century. This is actually from the Gundam Build Divers series. So, at this point, you should kind of know, should get a gist and to understand what this mobile suit is at this point. So, obviously, it's not, we don't actually see this in the anime directly, if I remember correctly. But so that means, and so it's actually from a side story / manga, or like one of those kind of things here. So manga wise, I'm not sure, but yeah, definitely from the Genius headline stuff. So I remember seeing a few Twitter posts regarding this. So yeah. So honestly, I'm going to be honest, I do not have much info on that aspect. Number two is that while this is based on the Reborn 100 Bawoo kit, there are a lot of leftover parts. And I never owned that kit. I never owned the Reborn 100 Bawoo kit, so there won't be any comparisons because I can't make any comparisons because I never owned one. Alright, so let's get on to the review right away. So as usual, let's go over the components. So first of all, what you get, of course, is obviously the mobile suit itself, or the kit itself. So we get the Gundam Lindwurm. I actually really enjoyed the build of this kit, and despite not knowing any of the background of this kit or of the mobile suit, I actually bought this because I really love the concept here. So before we go into any other lore stuff, so let's go over the components. So first of all, here is what you're supposed to get and actually use on the kit. So actually excluding this. So here we have the shield, definitely a really efficient looking shield. I believe this might be almost like identical to the actual Bawoo shield, because other than this part, we can actually see the square holes here. So that and you actually do get that symbol thing that you can attach there. So you can still attach that here. And then here we have the beam rifle. I believe this is, form factor wise, it is almost identical, but I believe there are some, I believe there's supposed to be some other colored parts. But once again, for the Gundam Lindwurm, this is the way how it goes. And here we have a sticker here. All right. And then here we have the extra hand. So hand wise, you only get two sets of hands. Number one are the fist hands that I am currently using there. And then here we have the hands that are supposed to look like it's grabbing the hand. But the actual weapon's actually attached to the on a different place of the hand, so it doesn't actually attach to the fingers. And here we have two sets of beam saber effect parts. So here we have the blue one. So the blue beam saber effect parts are not as common as you think when you think about it, but still. And then on the arms are the actual beam saber hilt. So that's actually a pretty good place, or efficient place to place those. Alright, and then here we get two action-based stand connectors. Yeah, I really wish Bandai would just make a universal, hole or peg, something like that, because I do not own the actual action base to, attach these at the moment, because all of them are at my house. So actually, just to be more clear, this one is the one that you can actually use on the mobile suit form. But when you actually do the transformation version, or the Wave Rider form, this is the one that you actually use for the other half. For those who don't know, the Bawoo does actually have a transformation, but instead of like a full-fledged Wave Rider, like the like the Zeta Gundam, this one actually you detach. The top section of the body and the leg section is actually detached, and they each form a attacker form, or like a flyer form. So yeah, it's a very odd transformation when you think about it, but still that's the way how this one works as well. Now, being a P-Bandai kit, we do get some water slides, we get some symbols, very cool symbols, and other warning labels here. So that's that. And then actually, before we go on to the leftover parts, here are the stickers. So sticker wise, we only get two sets of stickers, or two sheets of stickers. So number one, this one is actually for the the scope that I just showed you on the rifle. This is the eyes. So this one's very typical stickers. This one, these are more stiff stickers, so more of a plastic-ish stickers rather than your typical paper. So what I believe, yeah, one of these, this one goes onto the head camera. These sets goes onto the head camera, and these are also camera stickers that goes onto the shoulder area, so, or more on the main body. So yeah, so sticker wise, there's not much. So they actually did a pretty good job on the color separation part. All right, now we go on to the leftover parts. So number one, you can see these parts. These parts are the ones I accidentally cut off. So this is obviously a joint for something for the original Bawoo, but once again, I do not know which one is that. Now here is another part that, well, this one I didn't cut off, but it actually fell off the plate. So I'm assuming this is the Bawoo version of this yellow part right over here around the neck area. So the Gundam Lindwurm being I guess they wanted to go more of a Federation design, so they went with a more, you know, instead of the roundish design, they went with a more angled design. So that's that. Alright, so here are a few plates that are actually leftover parts. So number one, here we have some leftover polycaps. Being a Reborn's 100 kit, we get to see these unique shaped polycaps that we only get to see in Reborn's 100. Or maybe full mechanics. So yeah, nothing too special there. Here is a blue plate. So the only leftover part here are these parts, which I believe are the Bawoo versions of the, you know, grenade launcher cover for the arms, but in blue. Here we have another white plate here going on here, so I'm not too sure what these parts are because I never built one, so can't really say much. And then here we have this part, which I'm not too sure, once again, where it's supposed to go. So that's that. Now we have another double plate, so we have two of these white plates that are the D plates. So I'm just going to show you guys one, so since they are the same. So number one, we get the original shoulder design armor, and then I believe this is supposed to be a side skirt thing for the Bawoo, and then here we have some feet parts for the Bawoo, but in white. And then here we have another plate, the H plate. So here's the other part, and then here is the, you know, symbol that you can slap onto the shield. And then I think this might be that head fin thing that goes onto the head of the Bawoo. This one actually, I'm not sure why there's a different one here, but this is actually a part that goes into the waist. So yeah. And yeah, here we have also another smaller version of that symbol. So I believe this is also supposed to go onto the chest of the Bawoo, if I remember correctly. Alright, so here we have the B plate. So this one I think is more of a, you know, universal thing, because we have the neck joint here and the extra neck joint, and then looking at the hands, those side, yeah, these are different type of hands. So yeah. And then here we have the C plate. So once again, since there is a double plate, so I believe the one I accidentally cut off is from around here. So here is the original plate. So yes, here is the part that I accidentally cut off. Here's another joint here. This I assume is the inner parts of the shoulder armor. And then we have two yellow plates, which are both the E plates. So I think I'll go show you guys only one. So here I believe these are the original feet part, but I'm not sure if they are in the correct color as well. More parts going on here as well. So yeah. So we do get a good amount of leftover parts, but I don't think that's enough to actually make a full-fledged Bawoo using the leftover parts with the original kit. So just keep that in mind, because I know I do show the leftover parts just to give you guys an idea, like what parts are used and what parts are not used, and also for maybe customizers, people who likes to customize, they're looking for a specific part. So yeah. But that doesn't mean I'm going to send my leftover parts to my viewers, because that's just a lot of money for me to spend. Alright, so let's see what we got. So one thing, I'm just gonna say this right off the bat, the only issue I'm having with this kit, as much as I enjoyed it, is because of the feet shape. It's the feet, this thing has the type feet that I really don't like, which are the high heel type feet. So, and then this thing is slightly back heavy, so with the high heels combination, it's never a good thing. So I might need to, you know, slap off something on the back. Alright, so let's start with the head. Now, number one, I really like the head, the way how the head turned out. Now, it's not exactly the same as the Zeta Gundam's head, but it actually gives out the Zeta Gundam vibe going on there. So they did a really good job here. Now, just to give you guys a idea, the fins do not fold up like the original Zeta Gundam, so don't even try. Now, sticker-wise, you can see all the stickers here. So we have the eyes, we have the cameras here, and then on the top head as well, and there is another one on the back. Now, I would like to mention, like, for the insides of the head, there is a very large green clear piece. So maybe, I think the eyes you might need to apply, but for the head cameras, I don't think it may not have been necessary to apply the sticker. So if you want to keep that, clear plastic vibe going on there, so you don't need to use the stickers on the head. Alright, so the head. Obviously, let's see some articulation here. So you can go down that much. That's a very good angle, and then going up, not so. Also, very well done. In this 360, I would say it is possible, but you have to make sure that you know where you're going, because some parts are actually colliding with other parts. And yeah, once again, they did a really good job on the color separation, including the Vulcans. Alright, Now let's look at the main arms here. So the shoulder articulation here, let me just back up a little bit. So the shoulder articulation, we do have some of the wiggle, but once again, it's slightly limited. There is another movement here that can allows this to go down, but that's more for the transformation here. But other than that, the once again, the shoulders are actually attached to the arms, so no need to worry about that. So the arms can go about 90 degrees to the side because the arm parts are colliding in the inside, so that's as far as you go. But we still do get the 360 twist here, and then we do get the nice bend going on here. But once again, because of the design here, it's just colliding here. And I think that it is as far as you can go for now with this joint. Then again, these are RE100 kits, so they're not going to be the same quality or build level as the master grade. So keep that in mind. Some people tend to buy RE100 thinking that they're all almost the same as the master grades. That's not the case. And then hands are your typical ball jointed hands, and one of the beam sabers popped out. So yeah. So you can see there is one of the differences between a regular beam saber hilt from other kits is that the beam sabers on RE100 kits or full mechanics, they have these pegs here so you can attach it to the hands. So just to give you guys an idea, I do like these hands. So number one, you can pop off the knuckle here, and then you can reveal a square hole. This is where you attach the beam saber here, and then you can see there is some obvious ball joint and the thumb moves this. And then you can see there is a peg hole there. So what you can do here is actually, I believe you can get here, and then you get the other open style hand fingers, and then you can attach here to give out the illusion where it's holding the beam saber properly. So yeah, I think I really do like this style of hand. All right. So other than that, here on the whatchamacallit, arms, you can see this yellow section here. You can actually pop this open and then reveal the grenade launcher. So that's a small detail that I actually do like, because I am a sucker for built-in weapons. Now for the main body here, there's no ab crunch here. There's no ab articulation because of the whole structure, and for the transformation here, there is a middle piece that's pretty much holding the top body of the unit here. So don't even try to give it an ab crunch test. So, and going 360 is also not possible because there are a lot of parts in terms of design blocking the part from rotating. So just keep that in mind. Now look, the back here is pretty much the part that might feel a little bit messy for some people, or that's pretty much the main reason why this thing might feel back heavy. So number one, let me just take off this part right over here. So here we have the gas. I believe these are extra fuel canisters. These can also move up and down as well. And then the back section here, we have this fin that can move up and down as well. And then this entire thing can technically move together at the same time. And then looking at the wings here, so the wings, this part attached, you can also rotate this up and down. 360 not possible because there's obviously something on the front blocking it. Yeah, you can see I'm actually struggling to make it stand properly. So here yeah, that was close. So let me just put it here. So here we have the other part of the wing here. So this is the part that connects. And then here we have another part that you can rotate the wing around here. And then the wing itself also has this part here, which allows you to move the lower wing sideways. The top section does not move. And then on the wings, we actually have these missiles in blue. So blue missiles, the way how these attach is that you have this clip thing. You can see this gray clip. This thing just is supposed to clip onto the wings like that. So not the best connection, but it still works. So I do find this a little bit interesting. So actually, let me just take this off because it is taking a lot of space. All right, so we've seen the basics of the arms and then the main body. Now let's look at the waist section right over here. Now the waist section here. Also the arms, if it were not for the wings, you should be able to go 360 easily onto the on the arms. Now for the waist section here, we have the front skirt. Now these front skirts are connected together, but you can separate them into each so they can move individually as well. So, but once again, you're going to need to cut the middle inside there. So just keep that in mind. And if you sand a little bit too much, then these parts can become a little bit wiggly. So, which is why I do not prefer that. And then here we have the side skirts that are actually connected as ball joints, and there is a small polycab inside. So moving them side to side is possible. Going a little bit forward is also possible, and backwards should be possible as well. Now the front skirt moves. The back skirt, despite how being huge and the way how it looks, it's just a single block, so it does not actually move around. Now for the legs here, we do have a nice side swivel going on here, and then here, once again, there is no hole, so you have to actually use that specific joint to attach this to a action base, which I'm not a big fan of. And then going forward is also possible for 90 degrees, and then backwards, not so much because of this of the back skirt. So, but going to the side is also possible. So it basically has your basic articulation going on here, and the joints here are pretty tight as well. It's just I think it's just the feet design that makes it very difficult to make it stand. All right, so other than that, bend wise, we get a very nice bend going on here. I did do some panel lining, I might need to do some more cleaning up. And then here with the feet, we do have the ankle protectors here, and then the feet here, you can see it actually moves a lot. So there's actually a middle joint here that connects the entire feet here, rather than your typical ball jointed style. So you can go forward and backward like that, and then you should have a nice pivot joint going on here as well, and then you can go a little bit side to side. And then being a high heel style feet, you can actually fold them up. But once again, this is more for the transformation. So as you can see, because of these style of feet, it's really hard to make a unit stand or balance on its own. So which is why I'm not a big fan of this. So if you do plan to customize this, I think you should. I think it would be much better to just replace the feet with something else. That's not a high heel style feet. Alright, so we've seen the basis of a unit here. So because of the transformation here, there are some limited areas than a typical mobile suit would have in terms of articulation. But once again, other than that limitation, I think they did a really good job on the part separation and in terms of the design to make the Bawoo look like the Zeta Gundam. Because I believe I remember reading where the Bawoo is supposed to be a part of the Zeta Gundam project. So obviously the Zeta Gundam we know has taken that form factor, but let's say if Camille never actually perfected the engineering, who knows, maybe this would have become a real thing in the Zeta Gundam universe. Anyway, so we've seen the basics. I'll be right back with the equipment because there are some stuff I need to mention regarding especially the shield. We'll look at the equipment and then we'll go to the transformation after that. So I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. So currently I have attached all the weapons that you can. So number one, the beam rifle, you should have no problems holding it, although because of the overall design here, they did, meticulously, make sure that it doesn't collide, so you can hold this, almost straight. But if you're having trouble, you can always, make the back section go under or make it aim towards the armpit area. So once again, you should have no problems with the beam rifle. They did a pretty good job on avoiding it, any parts colliding. Or if you're always having trouble, you can always detach the beam saber if you want to do so. So that does make it a little bit more easily. But once again, in general, you should have no problems. And then for the beam saber, I actually showed you guys the way how it works. So once again, no problem out there as well. And then because of the extra pivot points, now despite being the high heel type feet, doing these type of poses you should have no problems. Now the only part I'm having trouble with the shield, because the way how the shield attach is that you have to clip onto the arm, but the clip section, it doesn't really have a very strong clip. So this is the back side of the shield, so you have this joint that can move up and down, and then you can technically twist around the joint here. So the way how this is supposed to work is that now usually the shield would go around like this, but actually in the manual it tells you to attach it like this. But I say that doesn't really matter, because the way how you're supposed to clip is that you're supposed to clip onto this yellow area, and then you can see there is a this part that's slightly dug in here. So you're supposed to clip it onto there, but even if you do clip it there, it doesn't really give you a very strong clip. So sometimes when you're moving around, it can fall off extremely easily, well, depending on the situation. So it does connect, but sometimes last night I actually had this shield falling off a little bit too easily on certain situations. So yeah, that's just a little bit downside of the shield. But other than that, all of the equipment work very well. Now for the transformation, it's very, I would say, around simple. So basically you have to detach the top section. Like here there is a bit, like you can actually divide this part and take off the back part here by wiggling it out, and then each of the leg section and the main body section have their own transformation. So, and yeah, that's the way how this transforms. So I'll be right back with the transformed version, and then we'll end it off there. Okay, I'm back. So here we have the finished transformation here. Yeah, it's not the most, cool looking design out there. I'm just gonna say this right off the bat. So there are two parts once you're done, once you're finished with the transformation look. So let's go with the lesser looking one here. So here is the lower leg here. So yeah, it's basically you just spread out the legs, and then twist them 90 degrees to the outward side, fold up the feet inside, and then you basically flip up, you basically rotate the side skirts up, and you're good to go. And here is that action-based connector I was talking about. You basically slide this in here and until you get a click noise, and you're good to go. So it's supposed to float around here. Now this is supposed to like basically ram into other units as far as I know, but still not the coolest looking way. And I do find this, like, in reality, this is going to be very difficult to control, because you're piloting not only the main unit, but also you have to control that one separately. Alright, so here is the top section of the unit, and it looks more convincing if you ask me, and it does have a better look. So number one, obviously you need to take off the hands, and you can still clip the shield onto the arm right over there. So yeah, you basically fold out, you basically detach those, and then here are the shoulders. You basically rotate them downwards like this, and then the only tricky part for the transformation for me was attaching the rifle inside the body, because there are two parts that you need to, or two peg holes that you need to fill in here, and getting them together at the same time was a little bit tricky, but not too difficult. And you can see we still have the red, cockpit that kind of resembles the Zeta Gundam, front section here. So yeah, and then the head, yes, that's actually how you're supposed to do it. That's as far as it goes. So you have to basically push it downwards like that. So, and the wings, well, still you get all the wings going on here as well. And then the missiles, make sure that you rotate the missiles forward, because that's the way how it's supposed to be. And yeah, that is pretty much it. And also you have to, for the action base, if you want to put this on an action base, there is the action base connector for this one. You basically have to attach this to the rifle around here, and then be able to attach that. So basically, if you want to display this in this form, number one, you need to have the same two of the action bases together, or you're going to be left out with the one part on the ground. And that's pretty much it for the review. So number one, I say the build was fun. As someone who hasn't built the RE100 Bawoo, it was definitely fun. Number two, concept-wise, I really like the concept here as well. But once again, because of this transformation aspect, this thing may not be the best for everybody. And because of this specific transformation, there are certain areas that are kind of limited in terms of the main body. Like, for example, the absence of an ab crunch. Now, I would like to mention that the main body here, this is the main part that pretty much holds in this entire thing. So you do have a side-to-side wiggle, but it's not as much as you think. And so yeah, so because of this transformation and structure, it is lacking a few, articulation. But still, if you still like the concept and like the design, I would definitely recommend it. So yeah, of course the feed might be a little bit tricky to deal with, but still, yeah, if you want to try it out, definitely try it out. I don't think there should be anything that can go wrong with this kit, as far as I know, as long as you have built a good amount of kits. For first timers, I'm not too sure. I'm a little bit hesitant to recommend this because of the overall structure. Yeah, but that's pretty much it. So thank you for watching the review. This was the review of the P-Bandai exclusive, or P-Bandai exclusive RE100 Gundam Lindwurm. If you guys got any questions or requests, in the comment below. I still have more stuff to buy and build and make reviews out. So please stay tuned. Until then, see you guys next time.